Students, should we continue with our discussion of SN1 reactions, their stereochemistry, as we were talking about their stereochemistry in our previous lecture? Can you see it here, the mechanism of SN1 reactions? See it once again. Now, is it clear to you here? This is the intermediate carbocation which is formed here. You know that carbocation is having a flat planar structure with positive charge here. It is a trigonal structure. Now, when this trigonal flat structure is attacked by this nucleophile, again the example I remind you is that of hydroxyl ion. This can attack this carbocation from both front as well as back side. If the attack takes place from this direction, that is from the front side, then this will be the product, and if it takes from the back side, then this will be the product, which means what? That the stereochemistry of the product or the configuration of the product, in case it's optically active, it will be the same in one case and it will be inverted in the other case, meaning thereby that we should actually obtain a racemic mixture. If I am telling you, if the compound is optically active, then we obtain a racemic mixture corresponding to the attack from back side and front side respectively. So, two of the products should be formed in equal amounts, resulting in racemization. In actual practice, however, what happens is that the front side attack is slightly discouraged, because the reason being that here this halogen atom which is there on the front side, that is the leaving group here. So, Br negative, as it begins to leave the alkyl halide, resulting in the formation of the carbocation, it is still present in close vicinity on the front side. As a result, the nucleophile will be a bit reluctant to attack it from the front side due to repulsions, etc., and therefore it would prefer to attack it from the back side. Now, if that happens, then inverted product will be having slight more concentration as compared to the original product, which is which will yield the product with the retention of configuration. Now, what do you understand by this? That we will actually be getting more of the inverted product and less of the retention product. As a result, partial racemization only will be possible in this case. So, this is regarding the structure, stereochemistry which is exhibited by SN1 reactions, and they illustrate the case when the compound is optically active. Next, we should study the different factors which affect the rate of SN1 reactions. Now, the factors which affect the rate of SN1 reactions will again be the similar factors, that is the nature of the alkyl group, nature of the halogen atom, that is what kind of alkyl halide we are having, and nature of the nucleophile, which is the other reactant, also the nature of solvent, how does it affect the SN1 reaction. First of all, let us see the nature of alkyl group. Now, the nature of alkyl group in this case again is very important, reason being that because you already know it, that if I take tertiary alkyl halide, then tertiary alkyl halide will be yielding the intermediate carbocation will be tertiary type, which will be tertiary type. With the secondary alkyl halide, it will be secondary type of carbocation, and so on. And you know that carbocation stability will matter very much in the case of these reactions. As more stable the carbocation is, more easily will it be formed, because it will be having less activation energy, and therefore the reaction will be rapid, quick, fast, easy, and it will the reaction will prefer to go by SN1 mechanism. So what actually happens is that if you take a tertiary alkyl halide, the reaction usually goes by SN1 mechanism. In fact, I must tell you that if we take a methyl halide, then the reaction would not be very much feasible with SN1 mechanism or the carbocation formation, and it will prefer to go by SN2 mechanism. So that is according to the stability of carbocation, which also shows you, by the way, that electronic factors here, they matter very much, because you know that why are tertiary carbocations more stable? This is because of the electron releasing effect and all that, and therefore their positive charge is stabilized to a great extent, and hence the reaction is favored with tertiary type of alkyl halides. Then we again extend the dependence of this reaction onto alkyl halides. So the next factor will be the nature of halogen atom. Now this order will remain the same as discussed previously with SN2 reactions, like alkyl iodides. Alkyl iodides will be the easiest to react, they will be the fastest to react, as iodide ion is the best leaving group and fluoride ion is the worst leaving group, and therefore the reaction with alkyl iodides is most comfortable. I am talking of SN1 reactions, and it will be the least favorable with fluorides. And I should remind you again that this was the case with SN2 reactions as well. Next factor is the nature of nucleophile. Now, nature of nucleophile, as we discussed previously with SN2 reactions, there it mattered whether your nucleophile was strong or weak. In this case, however, what do you expect? Nature of nucleophile, as if you remember the mechanism I told you, and I'll again repeat this, that here the reaction takes place in two steps. The first step is the formation of carbocation, which takes place with the participation of alkyl halide only, and in the next step that alkyl halide that carbocation gets converted into the product according to the nucleophile which attacks it. Now, as the first step is the rate determining step, which does not involve nucleophile, therefore the strength of nucleophile will be having no actual effect on the rate of this reaction. Is it clear? That nature of nucleophile here, whether it's strong or weak, will not matter. Last factor, but not the least, because it's the most crucial factor here, is the nature of solvent. Now, nature of solvent, you know that I am talking about the polarity of the solvent, whether it's totally non-polar or if it is polar in nature. Now, as maybe we discussed last time also, that in this case the first step is going to be the ionization, actually, in which R positive is going to be formed and X negative will get out of the molecule. Hence, there is a sort of ionization taking place, and this ionization will be favored with polar solvents, because polar solvents will be interacting and will be providing energy with energy to the Rx molecule, so that it gets dissociated into R positive and X negative. As a result, the reaction will be accelerated. I should make it clear again that because in the first step, which is the all important step, rate determining step, and involves the formation of carbocation, this carbocation formed here as a result of ionization will be favored by the polar solvents, because it will solvate these ions which are formed, and therefore energy of activation will be provided to the molecule. Hence, greater the polarity of the solvent, greater will be the reactivity if the reaction goes by SN1 mechanism. Now, that's all regarding the different factors which affect SN1 reactions, and The next question which can be asked in your examination is the comparison of SN1 and SN2 reactions, because now you have completed the study of both of these mechanisms, nucleophilic substitution mechanisms, unimolecular as well as bimolecular, and actually we have studied all the aspects of these reactions. But if we are to write it in a consolidated form, in a tabulated form, then what are the exact precise factors which can be quoted? First of all, let's compare the SN1, SN2 reactions in terms of the major factors which are there. That is the nature of nucleophile. This will revise the things for you once again. Now, nature of nucleophile means that if I take stronger nucleophile, then SN2 reaction will be favored. Stronger nucleophiles, you know, they are say cyanide ions or OH negative ion or RO negative ion. These are very strong nucleophiles, and these nucleophiles, they'll favor SN2 reactions, which is obvious because SN2 reactions, again, keep the picture in your mind. These are the concerted reactions in which the nucleophile attacks the alkyl halide from the backside, and simultaneously X negative gets released. So if the nucleophile is strong enough, it will be able to attack that alkyl halide. However, on the other hand, if the nucleophile is weak, then it will not be able to attack the alkyl halide as such, but it will be able to attack the alkyl halide once it's converted into a carbocation. That is a positively charged carbocation that can be attacked even by a weak nucleophile. I'm sure that you understand this thing, and therefore the nucleophiles which are weak, for example water, that will be preferring to go by SN1 mechanism rather than SN2. That is regarding the nature of nucleophile. Then concentration of nucleophile also can decide whether the reaction will go by SN2 or SN1 mechanism. If the concentration of nucleophile is higher, then SN2 mechanism will be preferred, and if it is lower, then SN1 mechanism will be preferred. Again, this is an obvious point here. And as we were discussing just now, nature of solvent, solvents of low polarity, they favor SN2 reactions. Actually, they do not influence SN2 reactions very much as it is, but low polarity will favor SN2, and high polarity definitely will be favoring SN1 kind of a pathway of the reaction. So that were the major factors which revise the whole thing. Also, please keep in mind the SN1 and SN2 mechanisms, which is SN2 being a single step mechanism and SN1 being a two-step case. So now if we are to write the differences in a tabulated manner, if the question is asked in your examination, then you have to write it actually in this form. So SN1 reactions and SN2 reactions, is it clear to you? You can put a line here in between, and then SN1 and SN2 reactions. The SN1 reactions, they follow first order kinetics. SN2 reactions, they follow second order kinetics. The first initial point. Second point is that here there is a two-step reaction and it takes place via a carbocation intermediate. In this case, it's a single step process which takes place via a transition state. Third point is that the nucleophile can attack from both sides, because again remember that here in this case we have got the intermediate formation of carbocation. So two-step reaction, carbocation will be formed, and which is a flat planar structure and can be attacked by the nucleophile from front as well as back side, and the result is the formation of a mixture of products. But as we discussed already, that backside attack slightly dominates. In the case of SN2 reaction, nucleophile attacks only from backside. Definite inversion of configuration will be there as a result of the SN2 reaction, which is the next point. And in the case of SN1 reactions, partial racemization will be taking place in case the compound is optically active. Okay, so these were the 4 points first. Next points, what can be those points? The reaction rate in the case of SN1 reactions is determined by electronic factors, as we have seen. Now, are the points clear to you? Electronic factors means that I am telling you that here intermediate carbocation formation takes place, and in which electronic factors they decide whether a tertiary carbocation is most stable compared to say methyl carbocation, and hence tertiary alkyl halides will be the fastest to react, determining the reaction rate. In the case of SN2 reactions, the reaction rate is determined more by steric factors. Again, I should remind you that we discussed previously that if steric crowding is more, because here transition state is going to be there, which is already crowded. So if bulkier groups are there, so steric crowding will lead to the decrease in the rate of reaction. So less the crowding, greater will be the rate of reaction. Next point is that in the case of SN1 mechanism, rearranged products can be formed. As carbocation is involved, carbocation always leads to rearranged products because of the preference for the formation of stabler carbocation, which may be as a result of hydride shift. Even the alkyl shift can take place here. In the case of SN2 mechanism, however, no rearrangements are possible at all. Another point is that the order of reactivity of alkyl halides with SN1 mechanism is tertiary, then secondary, then primary, and then methyl. You already are clear about it. And the order of reactivity of alkyl halides in the case of SN2 reaction is methyl, then primary, then secondary, and tertiary last of all, because that is in accordance with the steric factors. Next point is that the SN1 reactions, they'll be favored by mild nucleophiles or weaker nucleophiles, whereas SN2 reactions will be favored by strong nucleophiles, because only strong nucleophiles will be able to attack the alkyl halide. Then SN1 reactions, they are favored by low concentration of nucleophiles, just discussed, and SN2 reactions, they will be favored by high concentration of the nucleophiles. And the last point is that SN1 reactions are favored by solvents of high polarity. SN2 reactions are favored by the solvents of low polarity. Actually, I must tell you that in the case of nucleophilic substitution reactions, the polarity of the solvent, that is the nature of the solvent, is a big factor. So that must be kept in mind, which kind of solvent you are using, whether the reaction will show SN1 mechanism or SN2 mechanism. So that's all for this chapter. And although I have already discussed, I have already told you about the important questions, and the important questions I'll be taking up as a whole when we revise the whole chapters. In the meantime, you keep on studying, ask for any problems which you have got, and we'll be beginning with aryl halides tomorrow. That's all.